Welcome to one more podcast from Opine Group. And today is a very, very interesting one because it's all about money. Yes, we spend money, we earn money, we save money, but we don't really analyze the aspect of this. And for that, we have with us CA Sachin Kulkarni with us. Welcome, Sachin.
Hi, good morning, Anand.
Sachin, this is really, really exciting day because we all are dealing with money since our childhood.
Right.
But rarely we actually think about it or analyze about it. And since we are into the world of data analytics, it is all the more important to understand the aspects about this, the various nuances, the core fundamentals.
Sure.
So welcome here, and we are thrilled to get started with our discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And for this, what I really want our viewers to know is from your childhood journey, how did you get into this field? And when I say childhood, right from your schooling, your college, could you please tell a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So thanks for inviting me on this conversation. Basically, I'm from Pune, so the schooling and everything has happened in Pune itself. Typical Marathi medium, Maharashtrian, family. So always conscious about money. So how much I'm getting and how much I'm spending. So that was the era when the kids were not getting any pocket money. So every time you have to go to your parents and ask for some money, which used to be very specific for a particular expense. But yes, I mean, as you rightly said, money is everywhere. Yatra, tatra, sarvatra. So it is everywhere, right? Gradually, as I went into high school, we used to have something called as Jama Kharcha. And that is where I first learned about the receipt and payment account, which I am doing on a day-to-day basis. After 10th, since my father used to serve for one of the prominent commerce colleges in Pune, it was my natural choice, to join the commerce stream and do something there. CA is a very noble profession, which kind of helps businesses achieve their objectives, goals from financial perspective. I started my CA journey back in 1997.
Okay.
And since then, I am a part of this noble profession. So it's been like 23 years post qualification. I started my practice as a traditional, as if a traditional chartered accountant would, do the practice. So I did audits, I did taxation.
And this you did as a part of your CA journey. So I understand you did your 10th, 12th,
Yes.
and your bachelor's.
Correct. So I started my studies immediately after 12th. So
Okay.
there used to be foundation, inter-final kind of structure for, this CA course. So it started immediately after 12th. 1 year of entrance exam. Immediately after that, you have to go through an articleship training. So I did 3 years of articles training in Pune itself.
Okay.
Immediately after that, I was lucky to get through that exam, very quickly. In 2002, I started my own practice along with two of my friends. And as I said, we were into the traditional practice of auditing and taxation. So we continued for about 10 years. And slowly and gradually, I realized that, rather than on compliance side, I enjoyed my discussions with management on the business side.
Okay, great.
So in 2012, I started slowly moving on to the business finance side.
So before going there,
Yeah.
I have some questions for my viewers now. So your journey is, and it's very clear you are a scholar in your industry because I know people take a lot of attempts and you fairly did it very fast. So
I was lucky to get through it.
and you're a scholar also, so I know that. So tell me one thing. So your CA journey is over. So you did all this right from 10th, 12th, BCom and your CA journey. Typically what we understand is from most of the CAs, it's a very tedious work and it's very, very operational. And is that true?
Yeah, it is half true, I would say. It is tedious, no doubt about that, because you are always in the world of numbers. So, unless you are very, very in love with numbers, it would be difficult for you to survive for a long. Uh, the CAs are not only in ensuring compliances with various regulations,
Okay.
but they are also helping businesses in their growth, or coming out of their financial problems. So yes, that's why I can say that it is only half truth,
Okay.
but we are on both sides.
So you have done your journey. The CA journey it's a topmost thing actually.
Yes.
You can say, or the CS, what we know.
Right.
But there are so many people in the accounting field.
Yeah.
So I would request you to tell us that what you did is it very very different, or people from the BCom world or anybody doing accounting, they can also help organizations by whatever they know into accounting. So what is the difference between anybody graduating into accounts and versus somebody who is the top notch professional into that?
Now, obviously, there is a difference. Uh, CA course is designed in such a way that you get exposure to all the possible scenarios in the real world. Whereas the commerce graduation is more like a theory, and you hardly get any exposure to the real world.
Okay.
So that's a theory versus practice kind of thing.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for actually bringing that point out. Now, I understand there is an operational world here,
Yeah.
and you were also mentioning a little bit about the strategic side of it.
Right.
So, could you tell what is so operational here, and how does that lead into the strategic part?
Yeah, the finance world has got different subsets. Financial accounting is one of the areas which is very operational in nature. But there are other subsets, like you have management reporting. Typically, we call it as MIS, which the management would need at certain intervals. Then there is regulatory compliance, and then there is operational finance. So any commerce graduate, working with any of these organizations will essentially start his career at the operational level. So he will typically, record entries in the transactional systems. So that is where the journey starts, and as you go along, with your experience and everything, you can be a part of middle management, and ultimately you can be a part of strategic management.
Fantastic. So now talking about these systems and designing systems.
Yeah.
Typically, most of us like me, we come from IT background. We understand how we design our operational systems. We understand how we design the analytical systems, and it's very interesting and it is required.
Right.
I have come across some terms in my journey working with the accounting field.
Correct.
There is something called as chart of accounts, I know.
Right.
There is something called as journals, vouchers,
True.
ledgers, sub ledgers, and then there are these three main things, which is trial balance, profit and loss, and balance sheet.
Right.
That's my limited world, and some schedules and all that. So, is there some design element in all these terms there which is required to do?
Yes. So first and foremost, I must admit that you have got a lot of information.
Thank you.
And you are like a competitor for me in a way. I can say that. Okay. For any decision that the management takes in their organizations, I feel it should be backed with certain data. That data is generated through your transactional systems.
Right.
So if your transactional systems are not good enough to give you the required information, then obviously it will have a large impact on the decisions that you take. Because again, it is on the basis of the data that the management is looking at.
Right.
So the system design is fundamental for collecting the data.
Right.
As you rightly said, chart of accounts. So today I see that because of the lack of this industry exposure, the people working at operational level, they do not provide the required attention to things like chart of accounts. So it is basically a structure in which you and your management would want to see the data. So if you say an expense is incurred for local travel, so what would you call it? Would you call it as conveyance? Would you call it as travel? Or would you call it by any other name? But there has to be consistency in whatever way you want to record that transaction.
Sure.
If you keep on recording these transactions in different ways, then obviously the data which will be thrown from these systems will be, it's like garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. So you need to be consistent, and hence the fundamental design of the system is paramount to further usage of that information.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about these three main things before I get into the analytics world. Trial balance, profit and loss, and balance sheet. Why is it so important?
So I will not go into the actual definitions of these
Oh yeah,
three
no, no.
things. But basically whatever you do, you keep on recording transactions throughout the year, and what you get at the end of the year is like trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet.
Okay.
So essentially these are 3 pages which are actually determining the quality of work that you have put into throughout the year.
Right.
So basically profit and loss account talks about the profits or the losses that you have made or incurred in a given period of time. Balance sheet is a statement which talks about the assets and liabilities of the business as at a particular point in time.
Right.
And trial balance is a list of all the accounts, ledger accounts, GLs you can say, which are there in your accounting system.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. The reason I am going in these details are what we are talking is not out of the world as far as the basic accounting principles go.
Right.
Okay. And for my viewers, I want to tell that these are the very fundamental things we can definitely stick with, and then our journey into analytics begins.
Correct.
So at this point of time, when we have mastered this for so many years, practiced it for so many years, how did you come across analytics and management related discussions? Because this sounds so transactional. What was the point of time your interest got into the management side of it?
Yeah. So actually it was a natural journey, I would say. By being advisor to many companies in India and internationally also, they started seeking advice from me on their day-to-day requirements. Finance or financial statements is a mirror of what is happening within the business. If you do something or if you don't do something, it has definitely some impact on your financial statements.
Right.
So if you go out in the market and sell something, obviously it will have impact on your financial statement.
Sure.
And on the other side, if you don't go in the market and if you don't sell, then also it has impact on your financial statements. So people started approaching me and asking my help on certain operational matters which had a bigger impact on their financial statements. And I also loved that part, helping them in taking certain business decisions. Over a period of time, I realized that these business decision takers or strategic management, they are taking decisions on gut feeling, and they are not backed by good amount of data. Then I started working on the data, gathering information, which is biggest challenge for any project in this particular space, analyzing that data and then making a presentation out of it. So many a times you analyze data and there you will find some patterns, but if you present them A4 size paper which is full of numbers, then people don't understand that.
Right.
So presentation is also very important. You need to put it in some graphical format or something like that, and then it becomes easier for people to understand what is happening with your transactions.
Right.
Take example of certain banks. A branch, a smallest of the branch, will have thousands of transactions carried out on any given normal day. Regulatory requirement is for certain aspects of those transactions. So you need a micro view of those transactions to ensure that those transactions are regulatorily on regulation side they are compliant. But for a branch manager, he has got his different requirements. So he would have to have a macro view of the transactions. Similarly, somebody sitting at head office would want to analyze or see these transactions in a different way.
Right.
So that is the importance of looking at that data, analyzing as per your requirements, and then taking further decisions based on that.
Sure. So thank you so much. Now we have slowly started shifting from the transactional world
Transactions.
to the analytical world.
Yes.
A personal question to you and on behalf of all my viewers. While we need to know the knowledge, it is very clear now. Is it also required to have some technical knowledge from our side? When I say it is about uh, the
Tools.
tools,
Yes.
and people get worried about it. So, what kind of exposure do you have with these tools? Have you mastered some yourself, and how do you work with others who know so many other tools?
Right. So it's a very apt question, I would say, because many a time people feel that sophisticated technology and its knowledge, hands-on, is required. Uh, that is true to an extent. However, personally, Excel is my lifeline. So I cannot, survive, or I cannot deliver my, daily tasks without Excel. Having said that, having exposure to some analytical tools is always advantageous to you, and thanks to people like you who have been alongside me with me, and when I interact with technical people, I try and gauge some knowledge about those tools. So it helps you understanding the capability of that tool and how to use those capabilities to get the required output.
Sure.
So it is very much required, desirable. However, it is not compulsory. Simpler tools like Tally, because that is something that we use on a day-to-day basis. Earlier, Tally used to provide only the transactional reports, but of late, in their recent versions, now they are also giving some analytical reports. So everybody has started realizing the importance of analyzing the data.
Yes. Thanks for that. So now we know the concepts are important. We have also told the importance about knowing Excel, and that will always help. So this is going to be a journey, always ongoing, and learning never stops. So it is good to acquire that knowledge. Now tell me something about the metrics. So everybody talks about the KPIs, the key performance indicators,
Yeah.
and the importance when you actually deal with the management. So could you tell these few KPIs, why are they so important? Because in the typical statutory world, if nobody talks about it.
Sure.
But when you go to these management discussions and anybody aspires to grow in this industry, they need to know about these KPIs.
Absolutely.
Could you guide a little bit about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there are again two aspects here. One is a generic set of metrics, which obviously we shall discuss, and then there will be few things which are very specific to the industry, to the business, to that particular company, or to that organization. Talking about generic metrics, uh, basis my 23 years of experience, I can say that there are two things which are very important for growth of or success of any business. One is profitability, and second is cash flow. So these are, I mean, undoubtedly the things you can say. I mean, it's a mandatory for any company to work on these two things. If I have to talk about certain ratios, financial ratios like gross profit ratio, your net profit ratio, your working capital ratios, current assets to current liabilities, these ratios, these are really important. You need to have a robust working or robust knowledge about your inventory days, inventory carrying cost. Then you need to keep a track of your AR days, accounts receivable days, AP days. So these are some of the metrics that generally businesses track, or they should track on a regular basis.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, for the financial users, how they become smart users, I just got a glimpse of that. So, not only the knowledge, but the tool and the ability to find these metrics and creating dashboards helps. In today's business world at large, because I just heard that you are helping in India as well as abroad, what's the importance of people knowing and being in the field of financial analytics?
Oh, as I said earlier, I mean, it is the bloodline. It's the blood of any organization, the money that gets pumped into any business. So, if you do not pay required attention to your finances, the businesses are bound to suffer. And I have seen this in my journey so far. even the bigger business houses, their finance teams are so robust that any decision that they take, they will not take that decision without an approval, formal approval from finance departments. So these people will have their budgets in place, they will have their reporting systems in place, apart from their routine flawless accounting and compliances with the applicable rules and regulations. Now, operational world is on one side and decision making is on the other side. If you have to take decisions right, your operational world should be correct, flawless.
Right.
If you have any errors here, then obviously your decision making is going to get impacted because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm sure all our users, all our viewers who are from this core finance sector are inclined towards that. Have started thinking somewhere about what are the various steps.
Correct.
From your example, how they can get there.
Right.
One of my request to you from my viewers is, what would you like to tell our viewers that if they wish to get into the field of analytics, is it possible? And if it is, then what are the various steps they need to take so that they can get into this world of analytics, financial analytics?
Absolutely, it is possible. In fact, it is the requirement in today's world, because there are a lot of people who are working at the operational level. However, the requirement for finance professionals who are into data analytics is still there. And a lot of companies are hiring and recruiting people at that level. What is required apart from, first thing is you need to be very strong at the foundation level. So your understanding about finance has to be top notch. You add to that the technology layer, and by technology I do not mean you should create something or you create some tool. There are ample tools available in the market. You just need to learn those tools to your advantage, see how you can use it for your day-to-day deliveries. In a way, master those tools.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sachin. This discussion, I feel we should go deeper and deeper into the various aspects of it. But today's discussion has probably opened up a lot of thoughts.
Right.
And those who are into this field will certainly find some way to get in their career. Thanks again.
Thank you.
So friends, this was a very, very interesting discussion. While it looks very simple, I could gather some information from this that when you do certain things, like a typical CA would work for 3 years in articleship. If anybody who wishes to get into this field of analytics, you should grab a tool, apply your entire knowledge into it, see some wonderful patterns coming out of it, understand the key metrics, and be able to explain it well to your management. Nobody is going to stop you from getting into this world of financial analytics. So quickly grab that opportunity and learn and get into this.